Hello viewers! Today I'm going to start brewing some red yeast rice wine. This is going to be my largest brew yet. I'm using my largest jar, my 15-liter jar. I haven't used this before, I've had it for a year. And I'll be using this entire package of red yeast rice. So let's get started. If you like this video, please click that like button and subscribe. So I was inspired by YouTube channel酒鬼 Xiaoli, a channel that's actually originally from a Chinese video site called Xigua Video. So Xiaoli, she brews red yeast rice wine using ingredients like this, and she brews in large quantities. She has a giant ceramic jar. So I'm inspired by her to brew a larger batch of red yeast rice wine. So I want to show you this red yeast rice. This is rice on which a certain mold has grown that's red color, and it produces an enzyme. So this takes the place of naruk. If you're familiar with Korean rice wine brewing, the enzyme from naruk breaks down starch into sugar and lets you ferment that into alcohol. And for Chinese red yeast rice wine, similar thing. This is the enzyme that converts starch to sugar. So I'm going to be using this entire package. This is a 400 gram package. And surprisingly, I was able to find this in a lot of Asian grocery stores, not just big ones, just in the small ones around here. I was able to find this. So that's good to know. It seems to be a little easier to find than naruk. Okay, so let me show you what I've done so far. This is 4 kilograms of rice that I started soaking yesterday, more than 24 hours ago. So I washed this for about 15 minutes, and actually there's so much rice here. As I was washing it, it soaked up some of the water and expanded a bit. This container is really full right now, so I'm going to have to be careful when I drain it. So like I said, I was inspired by Xiaoli brewing red yeast rice wine. So I want to follow her recipe as closely as possible, what I could see in the videos. So I made a video earlier where I translated one of her brewing videos. I'm going to try to follow that procedure as closely as possible. So her first step, she soaked the rice for 2 days. That's a really long time. I'm just going to soak it for 1 day, so about 26, 27 hours. This rice has been soaking, and now I'm going to drain it. Okay, so this is a lot more rice than normal. I'm not going to be able just to pour this out into the strainer. I want to drain this for half an hour, so I'm gonna have to take it out 1 scoop at a time, just to be careful. Soaking the rice for 2 days, the rice might actually start fermenting or smelling during that time. I didn't really want that to happen. That's why I only soaked it for 1 day. Also, at this stage, Xiaoli, she rinsed the rice with water. So I'm going to do that too. All right, so that's 4 kilograms of rice soaked for more than a day. Now it's going to drain for half an hour, and then we're going to steam it. Be right back. While we're waiting for the rice to drain, I'm boiling my cheesecloths for like 5 minutes. And I'm preheating the water under this bamboo steamer so that it will be ready to go as soon as the rice is completely drained. All right, now that the rice has drained, we put it in the steamer. I've never steamed so much rice at once before. This is 4 kilograms. I've steamed 3 before. I'm not exactly sure how this will fit. So we'll see what I can do. This is a lot. So I'm making sure it's pressed in all the corners. I'm trying to fit as much as possible in here. And I'm going to follow what Xiaoli did and put some holes in here. Okay, so that's one layer. Okay, that's 2 layers, and I still have more rice, so I'll need a 3rd layer. And here's the 3rd layer. This is from the old steamer that I stopped using because it fell apart, but this piece was still okay, so I kept it. Luckily I kept it so I can use it today. Okay, that's the whole crazy thing. The lid is not going to fit quite right, but it'll have to do. Okay, let's start timing when this comes to boil and we see a lot of steam. Then we'll start timing. We want this to steam for 40 minutes, and then we're going to let it sit for 5 minutes. Just make sure everything is cooked evenly. This is going to be harder since it's so high. Also, I'm going to have to switch around the layers while it's steaming. I'll have to switch it around, and I'll have to be sure to keep on adding water so I don't run out of water at the bottom of these steamers. All right, so now we wait until we get some steam. Okay, let's see what's happening so far. I hear the water boiling. There's no steam coming out the top. This is cold. But if I take off this top layer, so the steam is making it to the 2nd layer, but not to the 3rd. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to set aside this 3rd layer and do it separately. I'm going to steam these 2 layers first, and then I'm going to steam this 3rd layer separately. So have to adapt to this situation. It'll just take a little bit longer to steam it in 2 batches instead of all at once, but that's okay. Okay, these are done. I'm going to set them aside and follow. I'm going to set these aside and follow Xiaoli's advice to leave them 5 minutes. And I'll put in the 3rd tray. So in a few minutes, I'll spread out those first 2 trays to cool, and wait for the third one to finish steaming. This third tray is done now, so I'm going to set it aside for 5 minutes. If I can pick it up properly. Okay, so I set it aside for 5 minutes like Xiaoli says, and then I'm going to spread it out. I can spread out this last tray of rice. And when it's cool, we'll go on to the next step. All right, the rice is cooled down now. Now here's the red yeast rice. I'm going to use this whole package, 400 grams for 4 kilograms of rice. And I'm trying my best to follow Xiaoli's process. So first thing she says is to put some red yeast rice at the bottom of the container. So I'm going to do that. Okay, and the next thing she does, she mixes in the red yeast rice on top. She spreads it on top of the cooled rice and mixes it together with a paddle or her hands. If I do that here, that's going to make a mess. I'm not going to be able to do that properly. So instead, I'm going to put the rice in a bowl and mix in the red yeast rice in the bowl and then put it in the jar. So that's what I'm going to do. Rice is in the jar, and I'm going to wait 1 hour before I add the water. And as I'm waiting, I'm going to use some wine yeast. I know Xiaoli did not add any yeast of any kind when in her brewing process, but I think I need it. I'm not confident I'm going to get fermentation without it. So this is about 1 teaspoon of wine yeast. I'm just going to mix it with this water. And it's going to sit here at room temperature for this hour, and then I'm going to add it along with the water in 1 hour. Right, I let it sit for 1 hour. I'm going to add my yeast first. And then I'm going to add 6 liters of water. So here's the first one. Second one. I am going to stir this because I'm not sure if I mixed in the red yeast rice into the rice as well as I could have. So, okay, well, the rice should absorb all this water, and we'll see what happens in the coming days. But okay, got this set up. This is the first day. I'm going to leave the lid a little bit open, although she did say to do sealed fermentation for the first 2 days, but it wasn't really airtight. So I'm going to watch this over the next few days. All right, so that's the first day. We got this started. Can't wait to see what happens. I'm going to be studying Xiaoli's videos some more, make sure I follow the right procedure to finish this brew up. It should take about a month, and I'll get back to you with another video then. Thank you for watching. Happy brewing.